Well, his dad, who coaches him down in West Sussex, will be particularly delighted there. So he's a young British prospect. Indeed, he's in the last 8 of the junior tournament. Now, we'll be going to centre court in a moment or two for the third of the quarterfinals, kafelnikov against Goran Ivanisevic, seeded 6 and 4 respectively in a moment. Let me just update a couple of other results in ladies' doubles. Gigi Fernandez and Zvereva are the defending champions. They've won the first set against Conchita Martinez, the singles champion, and Tarabini, and they're 4-1 up in the second, so they're going very well. And elsewhere out on court 14, Novotná and Arantxa Sanchez, last year's finalists, are ahead against Arndt and Shriver with a break in that first set. Right, we're off to centre court once again now. Andre Agassi has won there already in straight sets against Jaakko Elting. Pete Sampras is at this moment playing Shuzo Matsuoka on court number 1 and on BBC 2 at this moment. Here, we're going to centre court again for Kafelnikov against Ivanisevic. This could be a tight one, they say. Paul Hutchins and Julian Tutt.
Yes, and I think the centre court crowd is rather hoping it might be after that tremendous display of returning from Agassi. Here we have perhaps the biggest server in the world, certainly on a grass court the most effective, against a man who can serve pretty well himself, but really the big question is whether he can, how well he can return Ivanisevic's serves. Evgeny Kafelnikov, the Russian, just 21, making only his second appearance in these championships, an inch shorter than his opponent at 6'3". Currently ranked 7 in the world, has been as high as 4 a couple of months ago, and has already won 5 times in his relatively short career. He did well getting to the third round last year when seeded 15 in his very first appearance here. This is only his 8th Grand Slam tournament, and since Wimbledon last year he's gone 1 round better in each Grand Slam tournament, reaching the 4th round in the US Open last year, then the quarter-final of the Australian this year before losing to Andre Agassi, and then of course the semi-final of the French Open before losing to the eventual champion Thomas Muster. So if that's to keep going, he's the champion this year. This man will have other thoughts. From originally Split in Croatia, still has a home there, and in Monte Carlo. The last left-hander in the championship, looking to become the first man since John McEnroe back in 1984 to win the title playing left-handed. He also has a highest ranking of 4 from a couple of months ago. The only Croatian in the men's draw, and making his 8th appearance in these championships since losing in the first round back in 1988 as a qualifier. Twice a runner-up to Andre Agassi in 1992, that dramatic 5-set final when he had an extraordinary run. He beat the likes of Woodford, Rosset, Lendl, Edberg and Sampras on the way to that final, and then last year of course losing 7-6, 7-6, 6-love to Pete Sampras in the final. They've met 5 times, and Ivanisevic only is just ahead. Kafelnikov won the first time they played on clay last year in Hamburg, and again earlier this year, curiously, in Milan, indoors on a carpet. And you would have expected that the climatic conditions indoors would have favoured Ivanisevic with his very powerful serve. Never met on grass.
Time.
And the man calling time is Wayne McEwen from New South Wales. That's a pretty international occasion. So prepare to move your head quickly.
First set, Kafelnikov to serve. 15 love.
He's only served 33 aces in the championship so far, compared with his opponent's 104.
$30 love. $40 love. Game, Kafelnikov, first game.
Well, that's a pretty impressive opening game for Yevgeny Kafelnikov. Clearly wound up, hasn't been stretched so far.
I've seen a number of his matches, Julian, and I've been more and more impressed every match he's played. And you know, I've spoken to a number of players this morning in the dressing room and out and about, and there's an air of expectation here that this young man could pull this match off. People talk of Kafelnikov as a future Wimbledon champion, a future Grand Slam winner. We all know that Goran's got a great record here, and we all know that he's going to serve, what, 30, 40 aces in this match if it goes to 4 or 5 sets. But Kafelnikov, who is really taking his time at the moment, has got the type of talent and temperament that could upset Goran Ivanisevic today. And I think it could become an intriguing match.
Ivanisevic to serve. $15 love.
So an ace on the second serve just to set the tone.
$30 love.
Kafelnikov really had two options. One was the shot he played, or the other one was the lob. But Goran anticipated exactly where he was going to go. No trouble at all.
$40 love. $40-15. $40-30. Deuce.
I was about to say that you don't mind serving double faults when you serve as many aces as he does, but 3 double faults in a row is a bit excessive.
First serve. Advantage, Ivanisevic.
Kafelnikov had read that correctly, but he still couldn't get it in the middle of the racket or anywhere near.
Game, Ivanisevic. 1 game on.
1992, when Ivanisevic was runner-up, he served a record 206 aces.
15 love. Dirty love. Forty love. Forty 15.
When Kafelnikov lost to Muster in the French Open, there was a suggestion afterwards he didn't really believe that he could win. He certainly looks as though he believes that he can win this one.
Game, Kafelnikov. Kafelnikov leads 2-1, first set.
Well, I mentioned Kafelnikov's very good record, improving record in Grand Slams. The opposite is true with Ivanisevic. Since losing in the final here last year, he's lost in the first round of every Grand Slam tournament since then.
The big difference, though, Julian, is this is grass. And he loves the grass because his serve is so strong. And also being left-handed is also a terrific advantage. And if you see there, he's played very well. He's only lost one set. And his opponent hasn't even lost one set. The Todd Martin match was a very good one. Both huge servers. But in that match, I was very impressed with the way Goran returned serve. And I think the return of serve is going to be really the crux to this match this afternoon.
Time.
Goran, very popular with the younger element of the crowd and also the youngsters that watch on television. Never quite know what he's going to do. As you can see, last game he served 3 double faults in a row. Not many people do that.
15 love.
And he's just as likely to serve 3 aces in a row as well. We're going to see a lot of Kafelnikov's backhand. Within the game of tennis at this level, it's one of the best.
30-15. (40-15). Game, Ivanisevic. Two games all.
Well, he did get 3 in a row there and 4 in the game. If he's come with a full supply of ammunition, the rate he's using it up.
(15 love). (30 love). 40 love. Game, kafelnikov. Kafelnikov leads 3 games to 2, first set.
Paul Hutchins has already been drooling about the quality and talent of this young Russian.
I have every reason to, I think, Julian. I've seen him quite some years. He's been over a number of years as a very good junior, particularly with Andrei Medvedev. I don't know, one drools easily over him because, I mean, all these guys are talented. It's a misused word in a way. What do I mean by talent? He's the sort of person that I think has got flair within his game, as well as what I would call stability within his game. Often people with a lot of flair, if you go back to Ilie Nastase and other people, they lack the stability on the ground strokes and the volley. But this guy, I think, is very stable at the net, very strong serve and very good ground strokes, particularly his backhand.
Time.
One looks at players and one obviously likes to pick out one particular shot, and I would pick out his backhand as being the one shot on the ground strokes that really sets him apart from most other players. I just think that we're looking at a guy who, I don't know whether he's going to do well here today, but eventually he's a finalist or winner here.
Love 15. Oh! 15 all. $30-15. Oh! 40-15.
And one of the spectators just called out, more rallies, please. Well.
Game, Ivanisevic. 3 games all.
Well, he only managed 1 ace in that game. But some pretty hefty first serving to go with it.
Oh. 15 love. First serve. All.
The hand of apology went up from the Croatian. He knew he was a bit lucky there with the net cord. Nothing lucky about that, though.
15-30.
Kafelnikov not really covering
15,
properly
14.
this one here. Didn't go over. There was only one way that Ivanisevic could hit that ball, which was down the line. And Kafelnikov just a little slow in covering it.
Thirty, 14. Juice. Advantage, Kafelnikov. Game, Kafelnikov, new balls. Kafelnikov
Now it looks as though the winner of this match will be playing Pete Sampras. Now it looks as though the winner of this match will be playing Pete Sampras, because on court number 1 right now he's 2-1 and 3-love and serving against Matsuoka, who had a great start by winning the first set on the tie-break. But Sampras looks as though he's going through. That's on BBC 2, that match at the moment. One result for you in the ladies' doubles, the defending champions for the last couple of years. In fact, Gigi Fernandez and Natasha Zvereva, seeded 1 again, have beaten Conchita Martinez, the singles champion, and Miss Tarabini of Argentina, 6-2, 6-1. They're in the semi-finals.
By chance, over the 4 rounds of this tournament, both men have got exactly the same average percentage of first serves in at 56%. But Ivanisevic rather more successsul with points won on first serve. Of those that have gone in, he's won 92% of the time, compared with Kafelnikov, who's only won 76% of the time on first serve. It's still game with serve, but he has new balls.
Love 15.
This is where it's very useful to be two-handed, because you just get that added little bit of control with the 2 hands.
Fifteen all. Thirty, 15. Help! 40, 15.
So difficult to play against Goran, because you never know what he's going to do with the serve.
Difficult match.
Yes, exactly.
Making only his 2nd appearance in these championships, an inch shorter than his opponent at 6'3". Currently ranked 7 in the world, has been as high as 4 a couple of months ago, and has already won 5 times in his relatively short career. He did well getting to the 3rd round last year when seeded 15 in his very first appearance here. This is only his 8th Grand Slam tournament, and since Wimbledon last year, he's gone one round better in each Grand Slam tournament.
Well, his dad, who coaches him down in West Sussex, will be particularly delighted there. So he's a young British prospect. Indeed, he's in the last 8 of the junior tournament. Now we'll be going to centre court in a moment or two for the third of the quarterfinals, kafelnikov against Goran Ivanisevic, seeded 6 and 4 respectively in a moment. Let me just update a couple of other results in ladies' doubles. Gigi Fernandez and Zvereva are the defending champions. They've won the first set against Conchita Martinez, the singles champion, and Tarabini, and they're 4-1 up in the second, so they're going very well.
Reaching the 4th round in the US Open last year, then the quarter-final of the Australian this year before losing to Andre Agassi, and then of course the semi-final of the French Open before losing to the eventual champion Thomas Muster. So if that's to keep going, he's the champion this year. This man will have other thoughts. From originally Split in Croatia, still has a home there, and in Monte Carlo. The last left-hander in the championship, looking to become the first man since John McEnroe back in 1984.
And elsewhere out on court 14, Novotná and Arantxa Sanchez, last year's finalists, are ahead against Arndt and Shriver with a break in that first set. Right, we're off to centre court once again now. Andre Agassi has won there already in straight sets against Jaakko Elting. Pete Sampras is at this moment playing Shuzo Matsuoka on court number 1 and on BBC 2 at this moment. Here we're going to centre court again for Kafelnikov against Ivanisevic. This could be a tight one, they say. Paul Hutchins and Julian Tutt.
Yes, and I think the centre court crowd is rather hoping it might be after that tremendous display of returning from Agassi. Here we have perhaps the biggest server in the world, certainly on a grass court the most effective, against a man who can serve pretty well himself, but really the big question is whether he can, how well he can return Ivanisevic's serves. Evgeny Kafelnikov, the Russian, just 21.